Slow Horses is masterful television. Unfortunately, my reaction to the Apple TV series, now running on its 4th season, has been lazy. But I'm here to butter you tots up with this TV series. Those who watch the show or casually check review scores will be quick to note that this isn't exactly a lost and found, but I must remind you, I make the rules, so suck it.
Suck it, come on, son.
Before ranting and raving about this show, please check out my new channel, MovieTots. If you enjoy my TV show reviews, check out a channel where we talk exclusively about lost and found movies. Movies that were underappreciated, bombed, or maybe just wasn't popular. We are 30 reviews in, with many more on the way. Pop Tot and I have had a blast doing this, and we are so close to our goal of 500 subscribers. So come on over, help us out, subscribe, leave a comment, and enjoy.
You really care about them, don't you?
No, I think they're a bunch of absolute losers. But they're my losers.
Slow Horses is a British Apple TV series based on the spy thriller book series Slough Horses. The show was created by Will Smith. No, not that Will Smith, thankfully. Slow Horses follows Slough House. Think of it as a purgatory for MI5 agents. A place you're not really worth killing, but you're also too valuable to let go. It's the space between spaces for agents who have made mistakes and can't ever recover.
Slough House.
You'll need a visitor's pass, look into here.
A constant reminder of your failures until your retirement. Leading this band of merry losers is Jackson Lamb, played by Gary Oldman. Throughout the 4 seasons, the horses are mixed into numerous investigations that endanger Britain. Every season tackles a various book from Mick Herron's famed book series that the show is based on. Slow Horses is a brilliant TV show. Nearly everything about it is done to perfection, from the fantastic writing, acting, and directing throughout. For whatever reason, I went to Slow Horses expecting a bit of a British version of 24, something bombastic, cutting edge, quick cut, action flick style. Instead, it's more akin to Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy, with each scene carefully set up, delivering information at a steady, careful, and curious pace.
I am surrounded by fuck-ups in this building, but you are the gold standard of fuck-ups. By all rights, you shouldn't even be here.
While the show isn't devoid of action, it certainly does not lean on it. That doesn't mean the show is boring, in fact, far from it. A lot of the show has this levity while exploring various commentary, specifically aimed at British and spy culture, that is so incredibly fascinating.
Do you know what boils my piss? Is that you won. Boy saved, you get to look like a hero.
The best way to describe it is if you take a show like Veep and plop it into this world.
Come on, everyone, back to work.
It's Saturday.
And everyone piss off.
This is probably due to creator Will Smith's comedy background and his work on the Veep UK counterpart series, The Thick of It. Action scenes do happen, but ride on this more realistic side akin to Christopher Nolan's direction. The world setting and keeping it grounded constantly makes the stakes feel realistic, so the scope and consequences never feel lost. Not enough can be said about Academy Award winner Gary Oldman, one of the best working actors today. That being said, Jackson Lamb might be his best work to date. Lamb is somehow entirely over and understated. The head of Slow Horses was once the James Bond of sorts for the agency, the guy that got jobs done no matter what. None of this ever is explained, but slowly teased throughout the show's run. Unfortunately, too many jobs broke him, and thus he placed himself in this purgatory, hiding and awaiting retirement or death. Oldman plays him as a gross degenerate, always a moment away from farting or grabbing his junk.
Oh, better out than in. God, you're vile.
His days are spent behind a bottle or behind his desk in a daze. Yet, he's the guy everyone is afraid of, and he's the guy that somehow always gets ahead. Slow Horses does a great job of making Lamb feel like a man that stumbled onto the scene, and yet somehow be the smartest guy in the room.
We danced once. Next time I'll put you down.
Dream on, sir. I could take you down with an eyelash.
Oldman's performance has to be highlighted throughout, and I don't say it lightly as a huge fan of his. This is Gary Oldman at his best.
What do you want? Other than Standish? I just want to be left alone. But then you came along and fucked with my cheese.
The cast throughout gives fantastic performances. From Jack Lowden's performance as River Cartwright, this sort of Jack Bauer-esque kid trying to battle his way out of his purgatory due to his unearned namesake.
I don't know what I'm looking for.
The remnants of a once promising career.
Dame Kristen Scott Thomas plays the second desk director, Taverner. Taverner is the eyes in the spy world's political games that run exactly as you'd expect. All of which, Taverner is treating the situation as an overseer to chess pieces while sipping wine.
Corporate lecturing, directorship, the sort of thing you and I would have done earlier had we been in it for the money.
None of them as exciting as this, though.
It's done brutally realistic.
We've both done too many interrogations to play games, Diana.
Perhaps the thing that really attached me to Slow Horses is this sort of constant trying to prove yourself. Slough House, as previously mentioned, is the place for screw-ups to go. River is there due to a botched mission, and because of his name, feels this constant need to prove who he is.
Why don't you go and talk to someone about your constant need to prove yourself to people? They'll tell you it's because you don't know your dad, and your mum abandoned you, so you never feel good enough.
Each character has their own thing. In most shows, it would seem just like bad writing. Why is this character doing this? That's dumb. But here, all these characters are so desperate to get away from the namesake that constantly taunts them.
They're slow horses. I call it mercy killings, putting them out of their misery.
It's something I deeply felt, the need to prove yourself to your loved ones, colleagues, and just really anyone. It's perhaps the most engaging part of the show's narrative.
Because you're too good. You showed everyone else up. Made them all look bad, so they shoved you in here.
The best compliment I can give Slow Horses is the excitement I get from every episode. I desperately miss those days of Lost, waiting each episode for an answer. Sometimes you get an answer with a few questions, or a few answers with one question. Each episode left you a bit hungry for the next, and this made my watch of the first 3 seasons of Slow Horses quite brief. Now, with the 4th season currently streaming week by week, I find myself hungry for the release of every episode. Something I haven't felt in a long time. If you go in expecting a bombastic show like 24, I think you're gonna be disappointed.
Got nothing here. Damn it!
That being said, if you appreciate well-written, flawed characters, dynamic plot structures, well-shot and well-acted shows, you can't go wrong here.
Sid's gone for coffee.
Yeah, she's already had coffee. She was getting away from you. Failure's contagious.
Not to mention, it is downright hilarious watching Gary Oldman's Lamb horrifically dress down his underlings.
If it all turns to shit, I might not see any of you again. You're fucking useless. The lot of you. Working with you has been the lowest point in a disappointing career.
Slow Horses is highly recommended, and I hope you're not like me and late to watching it.
Oh, piss off.
I'll see you guys on the next one.